he says while removing his coat and roll his shirt sleeves up to his elbow and make her flip on her stomach. YN says, then why you are hurting me? Taehyung says, are you the only one who feels pain? Have you ever tried to understand my feelings? My pain, that whenever you reject me, reject my love, make fun of it, you always say no to me. I have said no to you only once. Do you even know how many times you have said no to me? When you always say no to me, you know how I feel and how I feel hurt at that time. And as far as lying and cheating is concerned, you are the biggest liar and deceitful woman. You always cheat me and lie to me and always take wrong and unfair advantage of my good deeds. YN reply with sobs, no I do not, you are the one who makes to do that. No I don't. You leave me no option but to do this every time. How many times have I told you that I don't want to go to that dirty place, but you didn't listen to me at all and I didn't want to go there. Taehyung says, you will definitely go with me to the place where I want to take you whether you like it or not. Even if I have to take you by force, and you will reach there with me silently. YN says, no, I will not go there at all. You cannot force me to go there. Taehyung says, okay, let me see how long you stick to your word. YN says, Tae, please stop it, I will go. Taehyung says, are you sure or I will continue? YN says, no please no more. Taehyung says, then okay let's go. Sit on front seat and also make her wear her seatbelt and close the door of the car from YN's side and go towards the driving seat. YN was not looking towards the Taehyung because of anger and turned her face towards the window. Taehyung sees her angry bird's face and says with smile, YN look at me. YN ignores him. Taehyung says again, hey love please look at me I have something for you. YN reply, I don't want anything from you. But Taehyung holds her jaw gently and turns her face towards him for at him and Taehyung says, YN this is for you. Happy Valentine's Day love. YN anger suddenly disappeared and asked in surprise, is today Valentine's Day? Taehyung says, yes love, today is Valentine's Day I wanted to surprise you. He handed over her a bouquet of rose flower. YN widened her eyes in surprise because she loves flower so much it's beautiful and YN wanted to remain angry with him and not to take his flower. YN wanted to remain angry with Taehyung for what he did to her today but after seeing such a beautiful flower, YN could not bear it and started smelling the flowers by taking them in her hands, which were smelling very beautiful. YN mumbling, it's smelling so good. Taehyung says, do you like it? YN unknowingly nodded her head. Taehyung chuckled by her facial expression. She looked happy just by little flowers, then suddenly YN realizes what she is doing. Taehyung is smiling at her. Then she comes to her senses and YN says, no, I don't. Taehyung says, oh really? YN replied, yes. Taehyung says, then return my flowers, I will give someone else. He says and tried to snatch flowers from YN's hand but YN slapped Taehyung's hands away from flowers. And YN says in anger, you said that you had brought this flower for me, so how can you give it to others? Don't even dare, I will not let you give this flower to someone else. Understand? Taehyung says, so why are you not admitting that you like the flowers I gave you? Suddenly Taehyung takes out a chocolate from the court blazer of his suit and shows it to YN and Taehyung says, I had also brought this chocolate for you but I don't think you will like this chocolate. So I would have taken it back. YN look at chocolate in Taehyung hand and says, no I like it. She tried to snatch from Taehyung hand but Taehyung also moving his hand from YN hands. So she can't snatch it easily. YN says, Tae you know I like chocolate don't tease me give it to me. Taehyung say, what do I get in return? I gave you flowers and chocolates. YN says, what more do you want from me? I'm going to that dirty place, isn't that enough for you? Quickly Taehyung place the chocolate on YN hands as YN immediately take it like a little child and unwrap the chocolate and taste it with so much feel, she start to eat the chocolate. Eating chocolate like if she had not eaten chocolate for many years or she was eating chocolate for the first time. Taehyung say, "Why are you eating chocolate as if you are eating it for the first time or after a long time?" YN reply in enjoying and eating chocolate, "Yes, I haven't eaten chocolate in years. Ever since I broke up with you. I've stopped eating chocolate." She says it in excitement and later relives what she said. YN feels a little bad by replying on what she said. Because she should not have said it at this time, but the thing came out of her mouth by mistake. And there is a piece of 5 minutes between Taehyung and YN. Taehyung breaks the silence and says, "I also want to taste chocolate." YN, "You already know, I don't like to share my chocolate with anyone." Taehyung says, "But you said that you always share your chocolate with me when we were in college. You said you like to share your chocolates with me and only me." YN says, "So what, I said that thing a long time ago, many years have passed since I said it." Says, "That's a thing of the past, now you are capable, you can go buy yourself another one and have it." She says with taking another bit of chocolate into her mouth. Suddenly Taehyung stopped the car in sudden action. YN jumped forward a little but Taehyung pushed her back to her seat and snapped it. In past memories, Taehyung and YN, they are sitting on grass in a park which are near from their college. YN, "Tae, do you like chocolate?" Taehyung reply, "I like chocolate very much but I have not eaten." YN asked, "Why?" Taehyung says, "It's because when I was 10, whenever I asked for chocolate from the orphanage caretaker so many times, they didn't give me chocolate even once, they would just repeat the same thing, that orphan children do not get chocolates. After that day I never felt like eating chocolate again." YN says, "Really, how rude they are. Don't worry, I will bring lots of chocolates for you every day. So don't be sad, I don't like to share my chocolates with anyone, but I want to share chocolates with you, only you." YN "Don't behave like an innocent, you always do the things whatever you want to do with me." Taehyung replied, "Are you really complaining? Instead of completion you should beg for more. Like a good obedient wife." "Oh baby, yes, like that, I want more, do it faster baby, do it faster. And harder for mommy." YN rolled her eyes and sewed a big amount of chocolate in his mouth and YN said, "Now for God's sake you just keep quiet and I can't listen to all this nonsense and dirty talk of yours." Both of them used to fight like this and talk while joking. They reached the place where Taehyung wanted to take YN. But before leaving the car, Taehyung ties a red ribbon on YN's eyes. YN gets a little nervous and scared when she sees Taehyung blindfolding her. YN asks, "What are you doing? Why are you closing my eyes?" Taehyung, "Shish, don't say anything, stay quiet and sit here quietly, don't even try to open your eyes until I come back." Saying this, Taehyung starts to come out of the car but YN immediately catches Taehyung's hand and YN says, "Where are you going leaving me like this? Please don't leave me alone, I am scared." Taehyung says while removing her hands from his hand, "YN, I am not leaving you just for a little while, I will be right back, okay? You sit here like a good girl till I come, okay?" YN says, "Please," pleading face. Taehyung pleaded, "YN, please, I want to give you a surprise which you will never be able to forget in your life even if you want to." After saying this, Taehyung goes out of the car and leaves YN in the car. Some time passes like this. YN's eyes were closed and she was feeling very restless and scared as to where Taehyung had gone, leaving her alone in such a car. YN says to herself, "After all, which surprise does Taehyung want to give me which I will not be able to forget even after going there for my lifetime?" He was not saying anything about getting rid of me. He was leaving me alone. No, he can't do that to me. YN was thinking all this in her mind when suddenly someone close to YN's door slams it loudly and unlock the car door. YN gets scared and starts calling Taehyung. YN screams, "Tae." That person put his bulky hand on YN's mouth to stop her scream. Taehyung says, "Shish, baby, it's me, your TAE, cool down." YN says, "Where did you go leaving me alone like this? I was so scared, don't even think of leaving me alone again." Taehyung says, "YN, you got scared just by this much. I have kept a lot of surprises for you today, seeing which you will lose your senses." Saying this, Taehyung pick up YN within his arm in bridal style and walk outside the car. YN says, "Where are you taking me? Please let me down. I don't want any surprise from you. I am opening my eyes." Taehyung says, "YN, just be quiet for a little while. You will get your surprise very soon." YN's eyes were still blindfolded. She was unable to understand where Taehyung was taking her. YN was afraid that Taehyung might get fed up with her and leave her in some jungle. YN says, "TAE, please let me open my eyes." Taehyung scolds her, "If you open your eyes without my permission, I will leave you in the forest." When he says that, YN cling into him and hold him tightly. YN to herself, "I wonder if he really came to leave me in the jungle." After walking in silence for some time, Taehyung stops at one place and says to YN. Taehyung says, "In, you can now get down from me and put your leg down." He says and put her down from his arms, but before YN feet touch the ground, YN clinging to him like toddler and YN says, "No, never, please don't leave in forest. I will be a good wife. I want to go home, please take me home." Taehyung says, "YN, what are you saying? Why would I leave you in the forest?" YN says while crying, "Because you are tired of me and now you want to get rid of me." Taehyung says, "YN, what are you saying? Come down and let us talk. You have some misunderstanding. I want to surprise you." YN says, No, I know you are very bad. I didn't let you sleep in my room last night, so today you brought me to leave me in the jungle so that you can punish me." Taehyung says, "YN, it is not like that. I am telling you to come down now." YN says, No, please take me home. I want to go home. Please don't leave me in forest. I'm sorry, I will never let you out of your room, but please take me home. Don't leave me in the jungle." She says and starts crying loudly. YN, please, people are looking at us, you are crying like this. After saying this, Taehyung removes the blindfold from YN's eyes and asks her to look around and see where he has brought her. But YN was so scared that she was not opening her eyes, out of fear that Taehyung might leave her and go away. But somehow Taehyung asks YN to open her eyes, and YN opens her eyes and sees that she saw that she was not in a jungle but in a garden, and that garden was very familiar to her because the garden had many memories of Taehyung and YN and of her college and school times. YN gets very surprised and happy to see the garden because she never thought of spending the same old quality time with Taehyung in this park again. Taehyung back huge her and says, "Did you like my surprise?" YN nodded her head and says, yes, I liked your surprise very much." Taehyung had already made all the arrangements for YN in the garden for her to sit and eat. Taehyung makes YN sit on the carpet and takes off YN's sandals with his hands. Taehyung takes out some cookies from a small basket and shows it to YN and asks her to eat them. YN asks, "Tae, when did you make all this?" Taehyung reply, "I made this when you kicked me out of my room in night." YN says, "Oh, it's really task good." Taehyung says, "When we were in college you always make cookies for me, chocolate flowers, so I thought why not make cookies for you with my own hands." Flashback. In and Taehyung first met in the school garden where some boys were harassing Taehyung because he had taken a new admission. That time YN helped Taehyung to stop him from troubling the boys. Says to those boys, "If you guys trouble this new boy again then I will complain about you to the professor. You must know that the professor always listens to me because I am his good student." After listening to YN, the mischievous boys leave from there and never trouble Taehyung again. From then on Taehyung and YN become friends, and they do not even know when this friendship turns into love. Now they are in college. Taehyung had 18 in front and YN had 16 in front. It was Valentine's Day and YN was waiting for Taehyung in her school garden as they had decided to celebrate Valentine's Day together. While waiting for Taehyung, it becomes evening, yet YN waits for Taehyung until he comes. And then comes Ram. YN says while scolding him, "Taehyung, today is Valentine's Day. How can you make me wait today? I have been waiting for you for so long." Taehyung says, "I am sorry, I did not want to make you wait. Today there was a little more work because I had started working overtime since a few months." YN asks, "You have started overtime, but why didn't you tell me earlier?" Taehyung, "You already do a lot of work, why do you need to do more overwork?" Taehyung says, "Now you will keep talking to me, have you brought anything for me? Tell me what have you brought for me?" YN says with excitement, "I brought so many things." Saying this YN takes out all the things from her hand one by one and shows Taehyung what she has brought for him, like cookies, chocolate, flowers and many more. Taehyung says, "You always bring so many things for me with your own hands, which I like very much, so I thought why not give you something as a gift this time." YN says with excitement, "Have you really brought me a gift?" Taehyung takes out a gift packet from inside his shirt and shows it to YN. YN becomes very happy on seeing it and starts opening it happily. When YN opened the gift, she saw that it contained a very beautiful and cute red-colored cross which looked quite expensive. YN says, "Tae, it's so beautiful but it's expensive. How much did you get for this dress?" "It must be very expensive." Taehyung says while hugging her face, "YN, you don't need to worry about all these things. Today is Valentine's Day. You are my Valentine, so you just have to be happy today. Understand?" YN says, "Taehyung, you already bear all your expenses yourself and even pay for your education. You even give half of your income to an orphanage, then how did you buy this expensive dress for me?" Taehyung says, "I was working overtime for a few months and I decided to give you a nice gift this Valentine's Day." YN says, "Tae, you shouldn't have done this. You already do a lot. I don't want this gift, please." Taehyung says, "YN, I have bought this gift for you with a lot of love and it is a matter of just a few months. After that I will not do overtime, it is okay." YN says, "Promise me you will not do overtime again for me. You are giving me your precious time. This is enough for me and I don't want anything else from you. Your love is enough for me." Taehyung says, Okay, now let's celebrate our Valentine's said this, both of them start spending time with each other, and in this way it becomes 7 in the evening. Taehyung says, "YN, we should go home, it is quite late, your mom must be waiting for you." YN says, "Okay, let's go." They both do not come out of the park in the college ground when YN gets a call from her mom. YN's mom, "Hello cutie, my daughter, due to bad weather my flight has been cancelled, so I will not be able to come today. Please stay at home without me today. Go to sleep after eating. Okay, mom loves you very much, right?" YN says, "It's okay mom, please come comfortably, don't worry about me." After saying this the call gets disconnected and then YN tells Taehyung. YN says, "Mom's flight has been cancelled and she couldn't come, so I think you'll have to stay home alone today." Taehyung says, "Will you sleep alone at night?" YN says, "I don't know, I always sleep with mom, she never leaves me alone." YN says, "Why don't I come with you to your house today? I want to see your house too. Please, even mom is not at home today. I am scared to stay alone." Taehyung says, "But YN, you will not feel comfortable there, my room is very small, you know I live in a rented room." YN insists, "Tae, please, I want to be with you today is Valentine Day, I want to be with you, please let me come with you." Taehyung says, "YN, you are not understanding. It would not be right for you and me to spend the night like this in a small room. Please try to understand." YN says, "Tell me clearly that you don't want to take me to your room because you don't love me, otherwise which boyfriend would be there who doesn't want to take his girlfriend to his room? Tell me." She start fake crying in front of him. Seeing YN crying like this, Taehyung reluctantly agrees to take YN to his room and they both start going towards Taehyung's room. Taehyung says, "Okay, I will take you to my room, but you will have to be a good girl, okay?" YN nodded her head happily and go with him. On the way, Taehyung finds a shop where he stops to buy some items for dinner. Taehyung asked, "YN, tell me what would you like to have for dinner?" In looks around the shop and points her finger at a ramen packet. Taehyung says, "Okay, if you need anything else, you can give it. I have worked overtime and collected money for you, so you can feel free to buy whatever you like." YN says, "Okay." In again starts looking at everything around her. Closing parenthesis. YN wanted to say something to Taehyung but she was unable to say it, which Taehyung finds out by looking at YN's face and Taehyung says, I told you I will get you whatever you want, just say it without any hesitation." YN says with hesitate, "I want to buy company, N.D." Taehyung look at her with risen eye then. YN says, "Candles, I want candles." Taehyung says, "Okay, but what will you do with the candle?" YN says, "I want to have a candlelight dinner with you." Taehyung says, "Oh, great idea." After this, they take all the things they need from the shop and go towards the Taehyung room, and in a short while they reach Taehyung room. Taehyung opens the lock of his room and asks YN to come inside. YN comes inside Taehyung's room and sees that Taehyung's room was a small one, but Taehyung had decorated his room very beautifully with all the gifts given by YN. There was a small bed and a balcony and a kitchen and a bathroom. Taehyung says, "So tell me, how did you like my room? I told you that it is very small, but don't worry, after we both get married, when I will start working, I will not keep you in this house. I will make a big house for you." YN says, "Taehyung, this small house of yours is no less than a palace for me. I don't need a big house. I just want to live with you. No matter where you keep me, I will be happy with you." Taehyung says, "I know, my love. For now, I have to freshen up first because I have become completely dirty after staying outside the whole day, friend. So first I will freshen up and then you can go and freshen up, then I will prepare dinner." YN says, "Okay." After some time Taehyung comes out after freshening up and then YN goes to the bathroom to freshen up and Taehyung goes to the kitchen to prepare dinner. After preparing dinner, Taehyung puts flower candles on a dining table in the balcony and decorates the entire balcony with lights and candles, which makes the candle dinner with because YN love it. But then suddenly the electricity goes off and Taehyung hears YN screaming from the bathroom. He gets scared seeing Yn screaming and immediately enters the bathroom to see her with a flashlight. But when Taehyung goes inside the bathroom, he sees that Yn is changing her clothes. Taehyung immediately turns his face towards the other side of the door and Taehyung says, "I am sorry, after seeing you shouting I entered the bathroom without your permission. I will wait for you outside. Okay, don't be afraid." Taehyung starts going out of the house but Yn stops him and says, "Tae, don't go out, stay here please, I will change immediately." Taehyung says, "Okay." Then Yn changes her clothes and asks him to turn, and when Taehyung sees her, he becomes very happy to see Yn because Yn was wearing the same red frock which was gifted to her by him. Yn says while spinning around in her dress, "Taehyung tells me how am I looking?" Taehyung replied, "You look like an angel who has come from the sky, like a fairy who has come to earth for me as an angel to fill my colorless life with colors and happiness." Yn says, "Tae, this dress is really so pretty." Taehyung says, "Not more than you. Now let me give you another surprise." After saying this, Taehyung starts taking Yn towards the balcony and after closing her eyes with his hand, he takes her for a candlelight dinner. Taehyung removes his hand fromYn's eyes and says, "Yn, did you like my candlelight dinner? I promise you that when I start earning through a job, I will do something even better for you and will love it." Yn says, "Thank you so much Tae, it's so beautiful, thanks for making this movement so memorable." Both of them happily eat dinner like a couple and then go inside the room to sleep. But there was only one single bed in the room on which Yn was sitting, and Taehyung was preparing another bed on the floor and was putting a mosquito net on the bed for Yn because there was no electricity and Yn was facing problem with mosquitoes. Yn asked, "Tae, for whom are you placing the second bed on the floor?" Taehyung says, "Of course for me, and for whom?" Yn says, "Won't you sleep here on the bed with me?" Taehyung says, "No." Yn says, "Why?" Taehyung says, "Because I am saying." Yn says, "Tae, please come na," she says, tapping the matters next to her. Taehyung says, "Yn, you had said that you would listen to me, so go to sleep quietly, it's quite late now." Yn says angrily, "You are very bad." After saying this, Yn turns her head to the other side and goes to sleep, but she is unable to sleep for a long time and keeps changing sides, which even Taehyung notices. Taehyung asks, "Yn, are you okay?" Yn says, "I feel not good." On hearingYn's words, Taehyung immediately gets up from the floor and goes towards in and removes the mosquito net and goes inside and touchesYn's head to check if she has fever or not. Before Taehyung could check Yn hugs Taehyung tightly and makes him lie down with her on the bed and Yn says, "I am absolutely fine, I just want to hug you, cuddle you and sleep with you." Taehyung says while getting up from the bed, "Yn, it's a bad idea." Yn says, "Tae, please," she plead with his puppy eyes. Looking at Sita's eyes, Taehyung cannot refuse and says yes. Taehyung says, "Okay fine, now sleep." Yn happily hugs him and says, "Now give me a kiss." And Taehyung kiss her on her forehead. "Yn, if you insist one more time then I will kick you out of the room. And who taught you all this? Tell me." Yn starts crying after seeing Taehyung getting so angry with her. Yn says with crying, "You are very bad, I will not talk to you. You are very bad. Everyone does this. I have seen that all the people who are couples do it, then why can't we? You don't love me like other loving couples do. I have a friend, she does so much with her boyfriend, she does so much, has so much fun with him, but you don't let me do anything with." Seeing Yn crying, Taehyung comes and consoles her and says, "Yn, try to understand, you are still too young for all this, I don't want to hurt you in any way. I don't want you to regret it later, we still have our whole life left for all this, try to understand. I don't want to be the reason of your tears. I never want to hurt you. I love you so much, more than myself. And is love only physical? Don't you realize how madly I am in love with you? YN says with crying. If you love me then why don't you marry me? I want to live with you forever. Taehyung says while hugging her. YN, I don't do any work right now. If I marry you then I don't want to keep you. This house let us finish our college once after that I get a job we will marriage okay. YN sobs and says while showing her little finger to him for promising her. Promise me, you will marry me after completing our college. Taehyung says while joining his little finger into her little finger. I promise you my love, I will marry you. You can't keep me away from yourself even if you want, then I won't let anyone do that either. He leaped her and gripped her tightly and both fell asleep cuddling each other. Flashback end. Taehyung and YN start remembering their loving past and how they both could not live without each other even for a moment. They would get restless on being away from each other and would swear to live and die together. YN thought that Taehyung hates her, her memories and everything about her, but she did not know that Taehyung is still living with the help of her memories. Taehyung once again sees a golden future with YN that can never be fulfilled. YN does not want to see tears in Taehyung's eyes again because of her. Nobody ever loved him, she was the first who loved him. He didn't have a family and one day she entered into his life and became a world for him. His love, care, anger, attention are everything reserved for her. Both of them sit in the park and eat cookies made by Taehyung, talk to each other and watch the activities around the park where many children are playing football and many old people are taking a stroll. Taehyung says, I have brought some books, would you like to read them like we used to read earlier? YN nodded her head and Taehyung lay down on the mat and put his head on YN's lap. They both were reading the story of a swan and a female swan, how they live with each other in a relationship like a loving couple and how they love each other till their death. Taehyung says, you know YN swan couples can't leave without their partner if in one die. Then the second one also dies soon with his memories, they can't survive without their love. The same rule applies to me, I also can't survive without you, I can't live without you even though I can't breathe, my reason for living my life is you and only you. Hearing Taehyung's words, YN's eyes fill with tears. Even after going there, she was unable to control her emotions. Still, she did not want to show her tears to Taehyung. She was completely overwhelmed. Taehyung says while holding her hand, I have fulfilled my promise as you wanted that I marry you, now it is your turn to fulfill your promise that you will stay with me forever and will never leave me. YN became speechless after hearing Taehyung's words. She could not understand what to say to Taehyung, but she knew that she would not be able to stay with Taehyung for long. YN did not want to give false hope to Taehyung in any way. She did not want to break Taehyung's heart again. YN did not want to be so selfish that she would ruin Taehyung's life by coming into his life. YN says with broken tone, having me in your life isn't a blessing you will regret after choosing me. Taehyung replied, forcing yourself to lose feelings for someone you still love, it's not easy. You can say easily to move on, but me who can't live without you. Wish I could go back to the day you were mine. The hardest thing in the world is loving someone who loves another. You know you really love a person when you don't hate them for breaking your heart. YN says in mind, in the search of gold I found a diamond like you Tae. Taehyung sees YN's overwhelmed face and places her hand on his chest and says, it's hearts there, It really hurts when you have someone in your heart but can't have in your arms. YN says, Taehyung, try to understand me, I cannot love you, I cannot do anything as per your expectations. Taehyung says, if you cannot love me, it does not matter, I love you so much that this much love is enough for both of us in this life. I told you that even if you go, you will not be able to distance yourself from me and I will not let you do that either. YN says, Tae, this is too much, you are becoming too possessive over me. Taehyung lifts his head from YN's lap and sits in front of her and makes YN lie down on the mat and put her head on his lap. Taehyung says, I have only one precious thing, if I am not possessive, overcaring and obsessed about it, then what is the point of my life? Then YN starts remembering the punishment of last night in which Taehyung had told her about some punishment and had asked her to do it, but she did not know its meaning and then thinks. YN asks, If I am that much important in your life, then why were you desperate to punish me last night? Why do you always want to punish me when I don't even know what the meaning of your punishment means? Listening her questions, Taehyung chuckled softly. Darling, it's sweet punishment. YN taunts him. Just like morning punishment, it's still hurting. Taehyung says, my little Wi-Fi getting smarter, huh? YN asked, by the way, what is the meaning of that word of your punishment you said last night? I don't understand. Taehyung smirks and says, baby, I will show you practically when I will take you to our hotel room, okay? YN says, no, I want to know right now. Taehyung says, baby, we are in public place, we can't right now, okay? YN insists, TAE, please, I really want to know. Taehyung says, no means no. YN says angry.
Star falls into the sky. The sun